17 balls to spare. New Zealand have absolutely thrashed India by 7 wickets. Tom Latham scoring 145, Latham-Williamson 94, record partnership 225, and 15 years of jinx is broken. You went against the trend and it's happened.
What?
Century from Tom Latham, 145, 2 early wickets by Umran Malik.
What jinx is broken?
For the first time in 15 years, a total in excess of 300 has been chased down at Eden Park. Last time it was 336 by New Zealand against Australia, that famous series before the World Cup that saw them get hammered 3-0.
Sum up the game, please. What happened?
Okay, so India handed a debut to 2 players today, Umran Malik and Arshdeep Singh. New Zealand chose to bowl, and Shikhar Dhawan and Shubman Gill shared a good partnership of 124. The captain scoring 72, Shubman continued his consistency, but both fell in quick succession. And there was another double jolt when Rishabh Pant and Suryakumar Yadav also fell cheaply. But Shreyas Iyer, combined with that 94-run stand with Sanju Samson, revived India, and Shreyas Iyer overcame his demons of the short ball, 80 of 76, 4 boundaries, 4 sixes. Washington Sundar's blitz, 37 of 16 ensured India crossed 306. Shardul Thakur got the wicket of Finn Allen at the beginning, and then Umran Malik impressed with his pace. His first over was 141, was the slowest delivery in his first over. 149 was the quickest. But then after Devon Conway and Daryl Mitchell fell, it was the Kane and Latham show. Kane is still able with 94 of 98, 7 fours, 1 6. Tom Latham, 145, 104, 19 fours and 5 sixes. The over that changed everything was Shardul Thakur's over of 25 runs. New Zealand needed 91 of 66 prior to that. After that over, they needed 66 of 60. And they won it with 17 balls to spare. Meaning, 43 balls, they scored the remaining 66 runs.
So, even though Shardul gave away those many runs, his economy is still better than Arshdeep Singh.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so you look at what he finished with. 7 and over, and let's not forget he picked up a wicket too. The other wicket went to Umran Malik.
Yep.
So plenty of talking points, but before we get to each of those performances, please go and see the mid-inning shows. I, even despite the record, had not suggested that any team can chase 300 plus, but we had picked New Zealand to win this game. Despite
you did, I didn't.
Achha, you didn't.
I had picked India.
So I had picked New Zealand to win this game in the mid innings only, despite the fact that India got 300 plus and the record suggested that no team has chased that much since 2010. Now I'll tell you why I had picked and why. And this is where India went wrong. One, you played a bowler less.
Yes.
We made the 11 yesterday sitting here in our studios in the dugout, and in our 11 we picked 6 bowlers, and at that time I also kept harping about the fact that you will not, especially this young Indian bowling lineup that is inexperienced, that has had problems in the past. In white ball cricket you begin to realize, and India keeps making this mistake again and again. You made this mistake in T20 cricket. I know we moved from T20 to ODI. You made this mistake in T20 cricket. You did it during the Asia Cup. Every time you've played a bowler less, you've just gone with 5 bowlers. In T20 cricket also, you have faltered, you have lost. When in T20 cricket you've realized you need the 6 bowling option, I think that becomes even more pronounced in a larger game, which is a 50 over game, where a bowler has to bowl a quota of 10 overs. Because in a 2020 game, even if you have to play 5 bowlers and somebody has a bad day, you still have to just bowl an over or 2 of his.
Yes.
But in a 50 over game, you have to fill 10 overs per bowler. Imagine if somebody has a bad day. How are you going to hide him? How are you going to ensure that somebody comes up? Nobody bowls now, other than, Shreyas Iyer bowls once in a while. You had mentioned Shreyas Iyer, but I had mentioned at that time that he is not good enough to bowl 5-6 overs if you need be. because someone has a bad day. So what did you know? And that's why I said, even though India made much more than it was needed according to the past stats in this ground, that was one of the biggest reasons. India had played only 5 bowlers, and out of that 2 were debutants, and the remaining also had not been in great form, vis-a-vis Shardul Thakur and Yuzi Chahal, by the way. We'll get into those individual performances. So one should make that mistake and see the difference. Just now you've played a T20 series. You did well in that T20 series. You won that T20 series.
Yep.
Why did you win? Your captain at the time, Hardik Pandya, was playing 6 bowlers. He was the 7th bowling option also. That he didn't bowl is a different thing. But he was the 7th bowling option. What did you do? You went in with 5. That's why when we were making the 11 yesterday, we could not fit a Sanju Samson in. Not that we didn't want Sanju Samson to play, but you needed a 6th bowling option. And again, in that bowling lineup, you needed 4 fast bowlers.
Yes.
You definitely needed 4 fast bowlers today. You needed a Deepak Chahar. He would have given you Kishore in batting. You didn't go. So selection, you made a mistake there. Secondly, why I thought 300 plus could be chased? Small ground. Yeah. Today you saw certain shots Latham did. He was not even in control of those shots. Like, he's trying to hit the ball's actually scooped up.
Yep.
Most grounds would have been out. Went for 6 here.
6.
Behind the bowler.
Yep.
All you needed to do is just throw your bat around. If you made any contact, you would get a boundary. Even if you mistimed it, you would get a boundary.
Yes.
And that's what you knew. So when you made, so again, we will come to the bowlers and we look at some bowling performances and where they faltered, what they could have done is, but I think you need to go back into the batting as well. If Washington Sundar, who is still a bowling all-rounder, someone who predominantly comes in as a bowler, but is a very good batsman, I'm not denying that. If he could have gone at 200 strike rate, then why is it that everyone else did not look at it? Today look at, and again you got to balance it out. You can't have both batsmen trying to play the same way. What did New Zealand do? If Williamson is playing that way, Latham is the aggressor. Somewhere you have to look at it. In small grounds, you cannot be happy with 300. Now, this is the mistake you were making in T20. You moved into ODI cricket. Look at the ground conditions. Look at the short boundaries. Consider the fact also, okay, agreed you played 5 bowlers. But when you're batting first, consider it now you're playing 5 bowlers.
Yeah.
Then I can't go with just par total. Washington Sundar in the mid-innings said it's a par total. Then you go over par total. Then you target 350. Na?
Yes.
And by the way, we're not saying this in hindsight. Please pick up the show in the mid-innings. Exact same things we pointed out, and at that time had said that India is going to lose this match. That is what has happened.
Absolutely. So, and also the rest of the bowling, if you look at, this is the problem perhaps of playing 2 debutants. 1, no penetration. You can't expect penetration from 2 players who are just about finding their way in this format. So you're just saddled with an out of rhythm Shardul Thakur, out of rhythm Yajuvendra Chahal. Who were your go-to bowlers to take wickets? Apparently there was no plan.
But this is where I said, Yuzi Chahal, for example, can't have an excuse.
Yes.
He's an experienced guy.
Yep.
Okay. We were all saying that it was a mistake not to have played him in T20. All of that is agreed. But, okay, in T20 he had a good game and had a bad game. That's okay. You have good bad. But like you're playing one-day cricket and we view him as a wicket taker. We keep saying he's the guy who can pick up wickets in the middle. So he has to step up, right? Today is an opportunity. Yep. Again, I'm not passing a judgment because also, it's one game in the ODI. There'll be a couple more games and hoping that he plays so you can judge him. But then again, he has to also see himself in the mirror and say that, listen, today was a day where I'm probably the most experienced bowler in the lineup. I'm expected to be picking up wickets in the middle, and this is not a T20 game. I have enough time to work on my flight or entice the batsman, work on my skill. All of that he needed to look at, but he's not. So clearly he had to step up. So
plus that left-right combination.
Yes.
That totally put India's fielding plans and their bowling plans awry.
Yes.
Because what happened in the New Zealand bowling innings, when Shikhar and Shubman were batting, New Zealand struggled for their field adjustments. But where they excelled and India lacked was the control. In the mid innings there was a chat, 154 dot balls. That means 25.4 overs of dot balls could have made a massive difference. And if you look at the strike rates, Anurag, at the top, just 93, 76, Shreyas Iyer 105, 65,
Yeah.
94, 231.
I am saying these are not good enough strike rates. Majority of the thing, it's the same thing. Look at the condition. You have to be a. I'm not saying you want 130, 150. It's not a T20, but 100 is what you got to target.
Yep.
100 strike rate is what you got to target, and you cannot be like, okay, I'm going to be at 60, 70, and then reach 100 by the end of it. You may not get a chance. So if you have a short inning, you have to start with 100, and then like Latham did. I think he was at 100 strike rate.
Yes.
And then eventually went up to whatever 110,
139.
130, whatever he reached later, right? So
Yes.
that is something that but he started at 100. If you're going to start at 60, 70, it's not going to happen. So that's the other mistake. I think the only positive in India's bowling was Umran Malik.
Umran.
I'm saying anyway, ODI cricket is tough to watch. But when you have someone like an Umran, I'm saying he got you those 2 wickets.
Yes.
He went for runs also. But every over, every ball is bowling is excitement. Na?
Yep.
I'm excited to see it. Either it'll be a dot ball, or it'll be a edge and a 4, or a good shot by the batsman. Or he got hit for a few runs, caught a fast bowling Yorker. So it's
I think
fun
for
to watch
me,
him.
the delivery of the day from Umran was to Kane Williamson. Just straightened last moment. Williamson had to edge it, but luckily it went past the gap. 148 kmph was the speed.
My was the one he bowled to Latham. Latham at that time. That Yorker.
Yes.
Because at that time he was in good touch. Latham's getting runs against most bowlers. Got runs against Umran in that over. But how did he bounce back? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
See, this is why I say what genuine pace does. He got hit. Fine. Good pace. You can hit. And that's what Latham did. A good batsman he took. But he knows he has that armory, he has the pace. Bowled one Yorker, even a guy in form like Latham, he was late on that shot.
He was.
The ball went by before his bat could come down. So, what I'm saying, why do we keep saying, and by the way, we had also said that Umran should have been considered for T20 World Cup. I'll tell you why. Same thing. On a good day, you'll get smashed, whoever you are. What that extra pace does is that once a batsman is in form, or he's striking the ball well, where did we struggle? We struggled in getting the wickets of a set batsman in the middle overs. That's where the extra pace comes in. Even if you're in form, let's say I'm in form and I'm seeing the ball very well and I'm in good touch, but that extra pace, half a second I'm late, can get me the wicket. I won't get beaten by swing now. I won't get beaten by seam movement now. I won't get beaten by change of pace now, because now I'm set. What can beat me? A genuinely quick thing where I'm late on the shot. That you can beat a set batsman, and that's where I think you miss a fast bowler like Umran. So I hope that they, persist with him. What I liked today was, initially if you saw 150 was tough for him to reach. It was in the 140s, and slowly started cranking it up. And I remember his interview during the T20 series or something, and he was asked about his pace. If you remember in England when he played, he wasn't touching the 150s. So you know what he said? He said that body warm up hone mein time lagta hai. So he said, but you come from a cold region, Jammu and Kashmir. He said, still, it was cold and I need time. It was cold in Auckland also today. But what he said wasn't a mere excuse. Today you saw, as soon as he got into the groove, when he reached, also T20 happens so fast. By the time the engine gets warmed up, started, takes time. Today, by the time he came, 4th, 5th overs, cranking it up till the end. So I think, he's the one to invest in the future.
And I think we cannot judge Umran Malik based on his performances in New Zealand. One, the grounds are incredibly small. I'm sorry. Every bowler.
But today he was still your standout performer.
9 overs, 2 for 63.
So judge him, even in a small ground. Even in
lacked a bit of.
By the way, can I tell you, he will be more. So these are swing friendly conditions. He's not a big swinger of the ball. He's mostly the hit the deck pace. So on flatter tracks, if you remember, he reminds me of Waqar, not only in his action, but the kind of bowler that he was. And Waqar also in like flatter tracks or bouncier tracks, they will be more lethal, right? Wow. So if he can even be 50-60% of that, it's going to be
banana swing. No, but I think Umran's pace will be an X factor for these kind of flat conditions that we'll encounter in the subcontinent.
Exactly. He'll be more successful here. More successful here. That's what I'm saying. These conditions may still not suit him, but conditions here, it'll suit him. So that is the thing. Arshdeep didn't have a great day. So, but see, that's what I'm saying, which is why I said at the start. Yes, he's now a must have in your T20 squad, right?
Yeah.
But different format.
Can
ODI
get caught out, yep.
and now batsmen have the time. They don't have to rush him to every ball.
Yep.
You need to have more consistency. Only variety or variation is not going to help you. You really need to have something else with you to be sustaining. Completely different format, different skill sets needed. So it'll be interesting.
Indeed. And basically, look, what happened is that India either are not estimating their par totals well. Because
But that's your problem in T20. When are you going to
also-
change it in one day? Now you'll say the same thing in one day. Oh, you got to wake up, realize. Or if you think you're not good enough to get par total, then pack your team with extra bowling options and then defend low total. Or you go the Pakistan way, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That they realize that they have limitations in their batting and that best they can reach par totals only. They cannot give you a big above par total.
Yes.
Right. So what do? Okay.
3 out and out pacers.
Do that. But if you don't have that, then you'll have to get your batting right.
Yeah.
There are lots of super chats we've missed.
Yeah. He's taken a couple. Just take that here. Yeah.
But it's a wake up call.
It's a wake up call. New Zealand, as always, giving us wake up calls ever since 2020.
Okay.
Have been saying this for a while. Unpopular opinion. Okay, second unpopular opinion. Arshdeep bowling is okay, overrated. Yorkers were his strength, not bowling now. Mohsin will replace.
Okay, by the way, firstly, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Arshdeep is overrated. Allow him some time, right? He's been in that limited span in T20, already shown you that he's needed. Agreed that this is a change of format. By the way, we judged Arshdeep mostly also based on the IPL.
Yeah.
So he did well. And from that format has come into the India T20 format. So clearly that transition wasn't tough for him to make. And he's done well. Yes, I think the jury is still out as far as his ODI performances are concerned and he will be judged. But again, by one game, we shouldn't take a call. He's making his debut here. Allow him also some time. But I'll tell you one thing. What he does very well in T20, what works for him is, one is Yorker, he's got variations also. That works. Because the batsman has to be attacking every time. And when you do variations, it's tough for the batsman to adjust. What he will now encounter in ODI, the batsman is not chasing the game all the time, not every ball. So variations are not going to work. You need to have some sustainability, as in either you can keep troubling batsmen by swing or by pace or something that's sustained. Now just sudden variation is not going to put him into trouble because he's not taking risk every ball. So how do you put him into trouble? By something in your ball. Either it's seam movement that will trouble me as a batsman, or it will be some genuine pace. So you need to have that skill, which is different now. Yep. Which is why I'll give an example. I give another example. Harshal Patel. Why is he good in T20? Variations. And why do variations work in T20? If I'm a batsman, every ball I have to attack. Yeah. Now when I'm attacking, sudden slow ball, sudden short bouncer, which is pace cut off in that bouncer, or sudden quick bouncer, then so every ball is different, right? But if you do it in a one-day game, it doesn't matter because I'm not trying to attack. So one variation you will keep changing. I can wait. I'll figure out your variation, then hit. Now I'm only will be in a problem if you've got a certain skill set. Yes. A certain skill set. If you are like Mohammad Asif time sieve movement, then no matter what stage, whatever you're bowling, even if I'm trying to be careful against you, I may struggle. The ball will seam from there to here, you get me out, or you trouble me. Or you've got some good swing like Bhuvaneshwar, who could get swing at any time, right? Yep. Then he's putting me in trouble. Or you are genuine pace bowler, Umran Malik or whatever. Then also I'm in trouble. Even in the 5th, 6th over, even if I'm trying to be circumspect, I can be in trouble. So you need to have a core strength, and we'll have to wait and watch what core strength Arshdeep has. We've not seen it yet, so I think the jury is out. But what did he say in the second part? He said one, he's overrated. Mohsin. By the way, you're making the same mistake in judging Mohsin like you're doing with Arshdeep. So you can't have difference. And Mohsin also you've seen in IPL only, boss. So let him do well in the longer format. He's injured. A cricketer, by the way, when I was very excited to watching Mohsin, a cricketer told me, a friend of mine, told me, don't get too excited. You see the way he's bowling. Yeah. He's got a short run up and in the end puts in a lot of effort, which is his shoulder and his back. This is a recipe for disaster in terms of his injury. Longevity. He will have injuries. And sure enough, he got injured. Yep. So all of those things put together, I think, we are going by the formula. Whoever is not playing is the best. Whoever is not in the squad is the best. When he comes in the squad, then we want him out. So let's not jump the gun.
The same
so early.
mistake we did for the T20 World Cup build-up also. Get all of these guys in, but then they have to show their worth in the other formats. See, as I had mentioned, if you play well in the IPL, play bilateral series on a regular basis. Judge your performances, and then if you make the cut to the World Cup squad, you make the cut.
Yep.
Simple.
Yep.
Somewhere down the line, in trying to experiment too much, you just lost the plot.
Yeah. Somebody said, we'll take more questions, but I just saw a question. Why did you send Siraj back to India? And I think that's a very valid question.
Yeah,
Manikant Singh, very good question. I think, the confusion has happened in selection, and there are a lot of confusing selections. One like Bhuvaneshwar was kept for T20. One you've sent, Hardik, I understand workload management, but then you send Siraj back, right? Not part of the squad here. If a Bangladesh, you don't have Sanju Samsung there, all of that. But I think the confusion happened because there was a previous selection committee.
Yes.
Also remember, they picked the squad before India was knocked out of that semi-final. So you don't know what the future will hold going forward. So I don't think there was a clear plan. Now I think we've got clarity looking at how India got knocked out of that T20 World Cup, looking at how the new captain in Hardik handled in that T20 series, looking at who your future for ODI is going to be. Now that clarity is come. So I guess the best way to judge selection, and I agree that there are a lot of faults with selection, the best way to judge those selections will be now when the new selection committee comes, and then when you hear a team being announced with a new plan in place separate for T20, which we already have an idea, which is that you might have Hardik leading with a younger team, and separate for ODI where we'll have Rohit and everyone, your regulars coming back. Once that is done, I think that's when we'll be able to judge selectors and the selection going forward. There's another question on selection only.
Hariharan Vishwanathan saying, selectors made Pant VC, so he can't be dropped. Since there was more pressure to have Pant and do justice to Sanju also, we ended up picking one bowler less.
Yeah. But Hariharan, we pointed that out.
Yeah.
When we were picking the team, exactly said this, that it's going to be a problem to get the balance. If you get the right balance of the sixth bowler, please see our show yesterday. If you get the balance right, then you will have to drop either, Sanju, Pant, Iyer, whoever. You would have to. And whoever you drop would be injustice at that time. So this was already preempted by us. It's not in hindsight that we're talking about it. Check the show, and I think you make a valid point.
Yeah. Only difference, Sridhar Deshpande is saying, okay, Aman Bhatnagar, ideally this should be the 11. Shikhar Dhawan, Shubman Gill, Shreyas Iyer, Surya Kumar Yadav, Sanju Samson, Washington Sundar / Deepak Hooda, Deepak Chahar, Shardul Thakur, Umran Malik, Arshdeep, Kuldeep. So no Yuzi Chahal.
Yeah, but see again, he's hindsight. He's just seen one game.
Yeah.
By the way, this is exactly the 11 that we had made, where we picked 4 fast bowlers yesterday. Because looking at the balance, the Indian team decides something else. But of course, again, I'm not going to be, let's remove Yuzi Chahal after this 1 or 2 game. No, I'm not going to be. I think he will play in that unless you're playing 2 spinners. Right now, your second spinner has to be an all-rounder, because your all-rounder is Hardik, but he's not there.
Yeah.
So you will have to compensate by playing regular fast bowlers who are not all-rounders, or part all-rounders in Shardul, Deepak Chahar, whatever. But your one all-rounder has to come from spinning department, which means Kulcha can't play together.
Yes.
So one of them will play. I think you need to be a little bit more persistent with Yuzi for now, before thinking that no, we want to go the other way. And the other spinner, I agree, between Washi and Hooda, one of them, which is exactly the team that we made. He's put Pant out, by the way, which is interesting. Out, yes. But I tell you what, again, we were mixing format. Pant in ODIs has done well. So he had to start here. Plus, he gave you that left-hand option. Did you see that suddenly they sent him when Shikhar got out? I told you they'll rotate. Yep. But having said that, I think Pant is under pressure. Pant is under pressure. He needs to, I think he'll get this series also. Yeah. But if he doesn't do well, then going forward.
Yep. Because after this, it's the Bangladesh series, and that's why this 2 matches that will happen on 27th and 30th is very important for Rishabh Pant, because apart from that 125 against England and barring those ODIs that he played in South Africa earlier in 2022, it's actually been a lean trough for him. But the problem is India has not played that many ODIs. T20s agreed, Rishabh Pant has struggled across the board, but he didn't get that many chances even in the T20 World Cup. Suddenly you realize Dinesh Karthik was of no good. So you played him for Melbourne against Zimbabwe, and then you picked him in the Adelaide game. One crunch game after one relatively no pressure game. Because Zimbabwe, India, the fates were already decided. South Africa lost, Pakistan won. That's it. India and Pakistan through.
Yep.
Raj, relax.
From the US of A.
Yeah, relax. It was a good win. You shouldn't overhype and say they thrashed India.
I mean, yeah, I don't think thrashed is the right word. He's right on that.
Yeah.
But I think.
But they were blown away. I mean,
Yeah,
7
they were
wickets
blown
with
away for
17
sure. Yeah, they
balls
won
to
it with ease. They won it with ease. So
Totally.
blown away, yes. Thrashed may be a
Yeah. But again, see,
harsh word. I agree.
as all family members, I'll ask all of them, and also to the Indian cricket fan, in the broader context of the build-up of the 2023 World Cup, how much of this series has a relevance? Why? Conditions totally alien. I understand if you're playing in Australia.
But that will happen now. You cannot play all games now in India.
See, you'll play in Bangladesh, and I think two more series are in the subcontinent.
For your T20 World Cup, you had to go and play a series in England, in West Indies, and whatever. But you were playing the same format. Different conditions will
Different
happen.
conditions.
So I think every ODI game from now, players are going to be judged. Your template is going to be judged. Your approach is going to be judged. That is the nature of the thing, because everything is difficult to replicate. You can't replicate Indian conditions everywhere.
Everywhere, yep.
So it will be.
So the thing is, be sad, but don't be too saddened.
No, I don't think anyone's going to be sad whether you win the bilateral or lose the bilateral. I think the analysis for everyone, including us, the fans who are the real stakeholders of this game, everyone who watches us, I think the analysis is also going to be about individuals, because what Indian fans want, and I think they deserve, is a trophy, ICC trophy, and everyone who's watching us, and all of us included, we want the betterment of Indian cricket. So this analysis is only so that India don't get things wrong once again, whether it is their playing team, whether it's their squad, whether it's their approach. All of that has to be right, and I think this is all.
This year, I mean, 2023 will mark 10 long years since that last ICC trophy win. What became as a normal small cut has become an open gash.
Yes.
And
we need stitches to tie that up quickly.
I think no stitches. If you don't win in 2023,
plastic surgery.
You will need surgery. Overall surgery you'll need.
Okay, let's take what few more.
Shubham.
Lots of them have.
Why Chahal over Kuldeep in last ODI? Okay, no, this one. Aman Bhatnagar.
Aman is saying, please tell me, where is Indian team's logic? Playing with 5 bowlers means we are still not updating our game. Moreover, playing with 5 bowlers in which 2 are debutants. Aman Bhatnagar is saying, Aman, exactly what we said, hit the nail on the head. We've said this in this show, but as I repeat again, we're not saying after the result. We said it at the time India decided their 11 in the morning. We said it even in the mid-inning show that 306 is not going to be enough. New Zealand will chase based exactly on this. So we are all argued
about it yesterday also in the dugout.
Yeah, we're all on the same page.
Yep.
Okay, next one. Sobham Sai says.
Yeah. India are pride of their domestic circuit, and these bowlers come from those circuit. And we have 300 on board. We can't pick the wickets, but we fault our batsmen.
No, but today, again, as I said, you needed to have 6 bowlers. I'm not saying we've taken the bowlers to task as well. We spoke about Yuzi Chahal, we spoke about Shardul Thakur, and Arshdeep Singh as well. But as I said, this was just about a part total. You needed more with the bowling lineup and number of bowlers you play. You had to get more. Simple as that.
Yep.
Having said that, yes, bowlers didn't cover themselves in glory with the kind of performance they've given.
Let us not confuse the format. Shobhan Sai is again saying, let us not confuse the format Sky or Iyer for ODI, because I don't remember any of Sky's knocks in ODI.
Correct, but how do you ignore Sky with the kind of form that is coming from T20? Also, don't judge him now.
Yeah.
I think give him an extended run. If he's not good enough for ODI, you'll get found out, and of course the team will go with someone like Iyer. You can't leave him out. You just can't leave him out. Just as Arshdeep you've taken based on ODI, T20 performances in ODI, you have to extend that same courtesy.
Exactly.
But who knows, maybe both may not fit into this format. But we'll find out. I'm saying just patience.
Shubham, why Chahal over Kuldeep? In last ODI, Kuldeep got 4 for and now warming bench. He's not in the Bangladesh ODIs as well. Where's continuity? What's wrong has he done?
Dude, that point is valid, that why not in Bangladesh. I think you also cannot discard Yuzi. He is ahead of Kuldeep at the moment. But again, if he does not perform, there is of course a Kuldeep to go back to now. But also, you will have to, look at what we said about the selection committee. I think they got a bit confused with the selection committee changing and all of that.
AR is reiterating why I said Mohsin will replace Arsh soon, because little bit more pace hits the deck better. Nothing extraordinary in Arsh if he's not bowling Yorkers. But again, Nikhil had just said injury issues for Mohsin. Somewhere down the line, his longevity is going to be a big issue.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. And if you see, there are other bowlers coming like Yash Dayal, Kuldeep Sen and all of them. So there are already a lot of them as backup.
And they are also in the India A tour. Let us not forget that. Before the India series, there's the India A tour also. That's where most of the players are picked. Kuldeep Sen is there. They're all there in the Bangladesh India A tour. So
yeah,
let us judge according to that.
What is our friend Chandresh saying? Why don't you let Siddharth take a break? Poor guy is working every day.
Chandresh, that's not true. I had a 2-day break just now.
That means Chandresh has not been watching a platform
for 2
every
days.
day.
Yeah, he's not been watching for the last 2 days. I had taken a break for 2 days and I'm back today. Simple. He's been giving me breaks.
Yes. Please don't spread such disharmony in our team. Don't be notorious, Mr. Narayanan.
Devashish Mohanty, who himself was a great bowler. Siddharth, India needs good, genuine fast bowlers. Good, genuine fast bowlers. See, I had mentioned in the pre-match, who were the genuine 150 clicks who bowled consistently? Varun Aaron for a short period of time. Umesh Yadav was there. Umran, let's see how big a rope he's given. That is the only thing I would like to say. If he's given a longer rope, his fitness holds, then I think you've got a good, genuine fast bowler. Today he picked 2 out of the 3 wickets that fell and beaten them, and he was beating Williamson for pace consistently. And Williamson is no mug with the bat. He is.
I told you Williamson incoming loading today. Big knock.
You said century, but 94, yeah.
Yeah, so I told you you said he's going to flop today.
I said Umran might get the better of Williamson.
So that means exactly, na.
He almost got him.
There is nothing called almost. You don't almost win. You either win or you lose. Yeah. He either does well or he doesn't.
South Africa will not agree.
He's done well. Have you done all super chats?
Last one, that one, AR. Another promising process, Kartik Tyagi. Lost because didn't get much matches in IPL. They had Umran. But when he bowled, he was consistently 145, 146. But again...
Was he 145?
I can't recollect. 140. That would be his peak. 140-ish. Not 145. I have to check. I honestly will have to check. Kartik Tyagi's pace. That over that he bowled very defended 4 runs. I have to just see what was his pace in that. Yeah. Pradeep Shivalsan, yes. ODIs are too long. Now I understand why the World Cup is in India.
You got another one.
Another one. India missed the 6th bowler. I'm getting predictions wrong. Okay, yeah, that's... Now things are back to normal. Indeed, it is back to normal. Hariharan Vishwanathan. How come Sanju dropped for Bangladesh ODI over Tripathi Patidar? Why can't they give an extended run to him instead of chop and change series by series?
We've answered that.
We have already answered that. See, there are 3 people who are a mystery in our entire Indian cricketing circle. One is Yajuvendra Chahal. Does well in bilaterals but never gets picked in the World Cup. Second, Kuldeep Yadav. What wrong did Kuldeep Yadav do? Apart from getting injured at the wrong time. Otherwise, the Kulcha duo were simply magnificent. But now the team composition is such, you can't play both of them. Third, Sanju Vishwanath Samson.
Why did you have to take his middle name? Please, there are 2 more. Please, Anurag, keep
we have used Sanju, we have used Samson, we have used Sanju Samson. So, I have given a different variation altogether.
I will take Aman Bhatnagar's comment. He says, Indian team will audition 200 players till July 2023. Then new players like Yash Dhul, Shaw, Sarfraz will make runs in IPL. Again audition, and finally in September 2023, we are ready with the same squad who played the last event. Aman Bhatnagar.
Comment of the day.
You get the comment of the day award. Yep. Very well done. I hope it doesn't happen, but you have a very valid point.
Somewhere a premonition is incoming loading. It's going to repeat. Time to identify specialists for each format.
Take a name from Australia, Rahul Vasudev.
Did you meet him?
Australia. No, we could not meet.
Time to identify specialists for each format. Rahul Vasudev is saying from Australia. Right now, Dhawan, Gill, Shreyas are ODI specialists. Similarly, identify ODI specialists, bowlers and work.
Valid point. Next one.
And AR, I think the last check his last year played only couple of matches but improved a lot on pace. We will check that AR. We will do that.
On Karthik Tyagi.
Yes.
Yeah, he did. So he bowled well, but I agree that he did get injured a lot, and that I remember that over as well.
Yeah.
Bowled well. He's still young, but he could still
Karthik Tyagi from that
come back.
2020
He's from
batch.
the under 19 batch. That's correct. Yes.
2020 under 19 batch. And only Ravi Bishnoi made it big from that batch.
Yeah, but I'm saying let's not confuse, which again Aman Bhatnagar pointed out. We're looking at more and more and more. I think you've got enough talent pool right now.
Yep.
The whole thing is to have discussion. I don't think any of the guys that you've got are inferior to any international players. I think all you need to do is have a chat, understand what you want, what is the kind of cricket you want to play, and then once you decide that, look in relation to where the world is at the moment, how they're playing their cricket. Once you decide that, then do it at a consistent basis. Don't try and play safe cricket. That's been the problem. You try and play safe cricket, just concentrating on winning bilateral doesn't matter. Gamble, winning or losing bilateral is not even. Gamble, play cricket, that sets the benchmark, because that is what is going to come in handy when you play bigger tournaments like World Cups or knockout games. So you'll have something, that you follow, and you keep practicing those in bilateral series. Then you'll realize on a crunch day you will be able to follow that template. Doesn't matter if you play safe cricket, just win by a small margin and ensure bilaterals are won, because you will get safe totals, par totals. Okay, let me just do that and then let me win this series. No, go all out. Doesn't matter you lose one bilateral series or you get out for lesser thing. Set that thing. Yes, you will have certain embarrassing defeats, but you would have set a culture within the team, a template within the team. I think that's something that they need to concentrate on going forward.
And stop serving khichdi for every series.
Exactly.
Every series there is a khichdi. There is no particular solid dish that the Indian cricket team is serving.
Exactly.
Yeah. And with that comment, I am also getting hungry. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So, yep, that's about it. And the next game will be on 27th of November, the second ODI. It again begins at 7 a.m. IST. We will be there for all the updates. FIFA action-packed day today. 4 matches, 3:30.
Wow.
Wales versus Iran.
Did you guys see the goal yesterday, Richarlison? Goal
Richarlison, yes.
Richarlison's stunning goal. I'm not saying it's the goal of the tournament, because
Contender.
there will be more.
Yeah, one of the early contenders.
Early contender. What a goal.
Yep.
And a great game. Ghana, Portugal.
Wow. Could have been 3-3 had that striker not slipped.
And I think that wasn't a penalty that
Ronaldo.
Yeah, because he got the ball and it was actually Ronaldo who hit his leg later.
Yes.
Seemed like that. So very harsh.
But he's still angry.
Very harsh.
He's still angry, Ronaldo.
For goal being disallowed.
Check out Sports Today.
Okay, we've done a story. Why is Ronaldo angry? Check out the video that they've done.
Yes.
It's getting exciting.
Yep. So today the first game is Wales versus Iran. That begins at 3:30. So we'll be in Sports Today. We'll get you all the latest information. Press the like, comment and share button. We are also on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Thank you. Bye-bye. Vanakkam.